Okay, so this is my friend Lee. So, friendly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a thing called associative writing, and she's going to form a poem out of this. We're going to start off with calming herself. So we exercised earlier, so that is going to help put her in a different state of mind, get rid of some of the nervous energy and things like that. What we're going to have her do here is sit, and she's just going to let a word come to her. Okay. So what you're going to do is with that word, circle it now. And right away, without thinking, keep the word high in your mind and draw a line and write another word that comes right off. But think of the word high and the word that comes to mind right after thinking of word high. Anything. Think of the word high, put that in your head, high. Think for a second, and then immediately think of what comes next. And it doesn't have to make sense. And what's that? Hello? Hello. Okay, circle that. Now draw another line to somewhere else. Okay? Off of hello. Hello. Now think of another word that comes off of hello. What's the first thing you think of when you think of hello?
To be 100% honest.
Good. Potatoes. Okay, circle it. Okay. So now, think of potatoes. The first word that comes off your mind off of thinking of potatoes. Okay, circle that. Okay, think of the first thing off of Chick-fil-A. And these can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can draw anywhere on these lines as far as, meaning it can go backwards, it can do whatever. Okay, so now, Chick-fil-A, think of what is next. Okay, circle sauce. Now think of just the word sauce. What comes to mind and when you think of sauce? And in this, we don't have to worry about spelling. We don't have to worry about anything. It's get what's in your head with sauce, and you put that out. I'm. Okay. Right off of the word I'm. Bob. Okay. Right off of the word Bob. Now, bob can be a person. It could be the action, like bobbing fur or something. So you're not limited to just, okay. Right away, one of the first things you think of when you hear the word bob. First image.
I forgot how to spell it.
What is it?
Minion.
Minion?
Minion.
M-I-N-I-O-N. Yeah.
M-I what?
M-I-N-I-O-N, but you don't have to worry about it. As long as you know what that means right now, that's okay. Editing is for later. So right now it's just be free with it. Okay, so off of the word minion. The key is not to censor yourself, to be free with it. And we'll narrow this down into another way too in a second. Okay, alarm. Excellent. Okay, right off of alarm. Beautiful. Run right off that. First one. Don't even think about it too long. Just flow right to the next one. After a time, you can see her composure changes. She no longer looks for my approval, but more readily connects with her own voice. She begins to flow more naturally. The words come more readily. I think one of the coolest parts of this process is watching someone release themselves from expectations. She is told that her voice matters, and her freer association and flow are indicators of accepting this on some level. Okay, we're going to hold you right there at this last one. So, you hear that sigh. Sigh is what you're looking for. See? So you have a lot to say. Okay? When you're doing this, you usually work until you get to that point where you get a good sigh, and sometimes stuff will just really flow. Because you know, when you started, it was a little tough. You were just kind of thinking about it, and then whatever, and it was taking a long time. And then there was this section in there where all of a sudden, you just went from one to the next, to the next, to the next, which is what you want, which is exactly what you did. And if you look at, so the last word you did was what?
Got him.
Got 'em. So, and we'll go back, let's see if we can find the very first one, which is way over here, which is really cool how deep that goes. So, let's see, which was high. So somewhere in your head, you make an association between the word high and got 'em. But that's a long road to get there, but that's associated in your brain. So that's how the brain works on associating words and concepts. So now what you're going to do is the creation of a poem out of this. And the poem can be just a few words. It doesn't have to be anything large. It doesn't have to be anything rhyming. It can be, there's so many different ways to work a poem, but what you're going to do is you're going to go through here, and you're going to look at all the stuff you've written, and you're going to go back and forth. It's really cool to watch this little journey. And you're going to look at every word that you made, and one or two are going to stand out. And when they stand out, you're going to go and write them over here on the side. Or in fact, what we'll do is we'll put it on paper. So you'll go through that, and you'll write down one word that comes out of there. And then you look at it again, you look at the word you just wrote, and see which one connects with that in you, what feels good. So take your time looking them over, examining the words. There's going to be one or two that just jump out that want to be talked about. That feels right, and that's what you go with. And when you get that one word, or the two words, or whatnot, then you're going to look back through, go back over that, look at all the other words you wrote. We're going to draw from all your associations to make the next few words. All of your poem will come out of this. And it doesn't have to rhyme, there's no structure to it. Go through them all. You wrote a lot. You've got a lot in you. That's good. In beginning stages, it's good to go back over and check what you've written and stay with that and assemble those into what you're doing right now would be the editing process of narrowing it down to that first concept that you pulled from by looking at all of it over it the first time. So now, what you're going to do is you're going to look at all of this, and something in this is going to trigger just some of the most important words of this, or the most important flow from this will go here. You can go back over this and say, okay, I don't need this word, I'll just cross that out. I don't need this one, I don't need that one. And then you'll write the new ones without that over here. Does that make sense? So it's up to you. So now you're going to go through here and just look at this. Another way to branch off from that is to actually take this. That will sometimes pull another concept or feeling or image, in which case you'll go and sometimes write another associative writing flow from that. So you can do that, or just continue from here and edit this down to the most important parts. All right, so I'm going to read it out loud, and then you're going to listen to it, and then you're going to read it out loud, and you're going to see, is there something I want to remove? Because once we hear this, it takes on a different life, because now it becomes words, it becomes actual something your other senses pick up on. Endless void, friend forever, no. Goodbye, why? Alarmed, no. Stop. Sorry? Me, you, friends? Forever? No. Faker? Why? Why? So different. Now you read it. Okay.
Endless void. Friend forever. No. Goodbye. Why? Alarmed? No. Stop. Sorry. Me? You? Friends? Forever? No. Faker. Why? Why so different?
Pulls out some emotion sometimes, doesn't it? That's perfectly okay. That means you really did well, that it's pulling that out of
I
you.
love writing stories.
What's that?
I love writing stories and stuff like that.
Cool. Excellent. So now, right over here, a more refined version of that. And go back to listen, and if you need to, read it again out loud so you hear it. And then take out words that you don't want, or add some words that you think might make better sense. And with poetry, we try to say the most with the fewest words. So if there's excessive words in there that don't make sense or that are too long, meaning if we have other words that meant the same thing, you can remove that, unless you want to repeat a particular thing because its importance is necessary for you to repeat that. Cool. Okay, now you're going to take this. So you saw this giant trail of stuff that came down to these. Now you've narrowed it down to this. Try one more. Narrow this down to even something with fewer words. See if you can do it. Sometimes you can't. So if you look at that, see which ones are still not needed. And it might be as small as you can do it right now, but try it and see what you can get. And another great reason to do this outside and at parks and things like that is nature has a way of infusing itself in you to where stress is relieved. There's always this dynamic change in nature that is, there's no sameness, and that helps. Basically, you flow into it. Okay. Let me turn off the, oh, it is off, okay. So go ahead and read that now.
Endless void. Friends? No. Goodbye. Why? Alarmed? No, stop. Sorry, not. Faker. Why? Why so different?
Excellent, excellent. Everything, all in that. You condensed it down to this, which is a feeling that you had in you that's been wanting to come out. And so we go through these stages and these steps to bring down the most important part. What's the fewest words to say what you're feeling? That's really awesome. That's great. Good job. Excellent. Very good.